That's interesting. The concept of waiting a little while, because I actually did it the opposite.
Okay. Tell
I
us
would
that.
I would actually try to meet up as quickly as possible, in order not to waste texting time, because
Hmm.
I'm super effing busy. So like I don't have time to sit here and freaking have a conversation with you. First of all, I don't like doing that even with my fiance now. Like he gets irritated with me if he calls me or something during the day. I'm like, what do you need? Because not like that. I'm very loving, but it's very much like that because I'm working right now. So anytime before, I'm all loving, oh, and then after, oh, but like while I'm busy. So when with the messages for me, it was frustrating because they're messaging me, I don't want to talk to you during the day. I'm busy. So for me, it was like if I'm going to actually stop my day to have a conversation with you, I need to make sure that you're like worthy of my stopping my time. So I actually wanted to meet up with him for a coffee. I met at the same Starbucks for every single date that I went on. They had to come to my Starbucks, like right by me. And I mean, I didn't say it like that, but that's just where we met. And just to see if there was any sort of jive. And it literally was like Dane, I met the same day. The same day. We
Wow.
talked, so actually the day after. So he messaged me. I did not message him back because he didn't fit my physical avatar. But I messaged him just like whatever. He was kind of funny in his thing that he wrote me, and I could tell he read my stuff because he mentioned Chicago and I don't know, one or two other things. So I messaged him the following day. Maybe I was bored at night or something. I don't even remember. But we wound up talking for, I think I messaged him at like 5, like right when I was leaving work. And we got on the phone within 4 messages. I just sent him my phone number. And he was all like, "Do you want to do WhatsApp?" And I was like, "Bruh, just call me." So we talked for 4 hours and we got off the phone and I messaged him and I said, he was in Miami, I was in Boca, which is over an hour away. And I just sent him a cute message. I was like, if you lived closer, I would totally meet you in person today. And he's like, let's do it. So I just sent him an address to not that Starbucks actually, but to an actual place, the beach by me. And we met up. We hung out till 3 in the morning. And then we literally did not spend one single day apart for like over a year from the day we met. Isn't that crazy? But I did that with all my dates, with all of them. They all within a day or two of meeting, maybe 4 days tops. I would just want to meet up with them, just like what is going on? Is this like good or is this not good? So that's interesting though. I actually understand that concept as far as waiting a couple weeks. That actually makes sense.
But the difference is, Sabrina, is you hopped on a phone call for 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's different. That's different. I'm talking just a message, let's go meet up. You actually did, even though you don't believe it, even though it's quick, you actually did take that time. So you may have put 2 weeks worth of messages into a 4 hour phone conversation.
Yeah.
That's still you taking that time to do it. And I know the other ones, and that's okay. We all have different preferences. I just felt I felt like you, like I'm not a big texter either. I don't want to do this texting game, I don't want to be your texting buddy, but I valued my time. I mean, I was a single mom. I had to leave my kid to go out on a date, and it was valuable time to me. So for me, when I was going to actually meet you, I needed to make sure you were worth that time. And I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the energy to go on one date every single day of the week. So when I did it, I wanted to sort through. I'll do one date a week. I even committed to I'll do one date a week unless there's an event. And I have to say that was something big for me. I was just wanting to get out of the house and have fun.
Yes. That's why I
Right?
did. Yes, I was like, I just need it because I was working so much. I'm like, I just want like a Saturday, just like hang out with a person and just have fun and laugh. Um, so
It
yeah,
made wasting my makeup a lot less
yeah,
hard because hey, I got in a game, I got a basketball game in there, I got a football game in there, or I went to a restaurant I've been wanting to try. Um, and setting what your boundaries are. I think for me that was the big thing, was I had the bar finally that I could go out. And so the lady that you're talking about that says, oh my gosh, there's just these guys, there's no good ones left. Well, because you're not setting that bar before you go out, then you're receiving what you are expecting. So if you're expecting, and I'll tell you this, and this may be old fashioned, but to me, it's one of those qualities that are important. The man needs to pay. That was just my thing. Like, I want to be treated like a woman. I want to be respected, and I want to be, my love language is receiving gifts. So for me, I dated a lot of cheapskates, and I took care of all the men in my life. They weren't working and I supported them. So for me, it was a absolute non-negotiable. You need to be a generous man. My first date with my husband, when we had dinner, he said, do you want some wine? I said, yeah, I would love some wine. He orders the bottle. So for me, as small as that is, that's for me a big deal, because I'm like, wow. And he even had it corked for me before we left, and he handed it to me, and we were ordering, and and he hates this word, I'm a big foodie. I love food, and when I look at a menu, I'm like, I want one of everything. I'm not the salad girl. I'm definitely not the salad girl, especially on a date when I'm getting a free meal. Heck no. Give me that steak, man. Give me that lobster. So we were ordering, we were looking at the menu, and he said, well, what do you like? And I said, well, this looks really good, but this looks really good. And he goes, why don't we get both of them and share it? And I'm like, woo, mic drop. Okay, you're in. Full bottle of wine. You'll share your food with me. You were willing to try stuff. So when you go out on these dates, those are the things I want you to look for. We always say, oh, well, not, everybody's not going to like the same food I like, or they're different in this way. They don't like wine, or they don't drink. It's like you have to look at the longevity, like long term. Are you going to be okay with that for a long time? If I dated a gentleman, totally was not right for me. Everything about him was opposite of me. He was a police officer. He was a detective, and I met him, believe it or not, through a situation with my stalker and my harasser. How it all worked out, yeah. Nothing shady, but it was after he had to close my case from my stalker, and we had to meet in person, and we met in person and we talked, and then we started dating. He called me after. He's like, hey, would you like to get together? But we were completely opposite ends of the spectrum, and he was very picky about his food. I would make him breakfast, and he didn't like butter on his toast. And I remember telling my friend at the time, I was like, he doesn't like butter on his toast. And she's like, oh my gosh, Maureen, really? What are you making such a big deal about? And I'm like, I don't know, but that doesn't sit well with me. So I think as women, we question ourselves,
yeah.
Like, oh, I should overlook that he doesn't like butter on his toast. No, because I connected with my husband, who wanted to order 2 of the things I wanted on the menu and share it with me. And it was joyful and it was fun. That's the connection. It's more than just the food and the toast or whatever. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to be really specific about what you want.
Yeah. So what's your thought process as far as dating apps? When you're talking to a client, is there anything else besides dating apps?
There is. In fact, in my book, shameless plug. In my book, I actually write down, I have a list of places that you can meet people. And here's a list of places to go out, because it is kind of limited. I remember my dad telling me, why do you have to be on the dating apps? And I'm like, Dad, what do you want me to do? Troll Home Depot? And he's like,
Dude, yes.
and he was like, well, yeah. And I'm like, it doesn't work that way, Dad. This is not 1940 where you go to the grocery store and meet at the local market. It doesn't work like that, Dad. So here are the suggestions of how you can meet authentically in society today. Parties. Get out there. Go be social with your friends. Go hang out with your friends. You don't know that a friend of a friend of a friend is going to be invited, and you might be a connection. Get out there physically. Now that we're post-COVID, you have opportunities to go have fun. Go to a party. Second, networking events. You know, if you're really about your work and you want someone who's in a mindset of growth and success, you know, you're not going to meet your husband, no offense to homeless people, but you're not going to meet your husband serving, you know, the homeless. If you want someone who is in the same realm as you business-wise. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
And that wasn't derogatory toward homeless. I'm just saying, go where you want to meet the people that are your best match.
Got it.
Number 3 is my favorite one that I suggest to every client. Meet up. Meet up.
Dana and I were just talking about that this morning.
Think about meetup. The reason that meetup is wonderful. Thanks, April. I love that. Meetup is great because there's not pressure. It's not dating. You're getting together with people who are like-minded, right? They're willing to get out, put themselves out there. You're getting together with people who have a shared interest. So go join a hiking group. Go join a crochet group. I don't care what it is. Now there's no pressure. It's like, I'm going to go do what I love, and I'm going to be in the space where it will be so authentic with the other people that are there. So we're in the same vibration, the same mental space. Number 4, book clubs. Book clubs are great. I realized my parents used to say that I kept dumbing down. And what I realized with my husband, when I finally met my husband, is that I was never intellectually stimulated with the past relationships. Yeah. And when I met my husband, he made me think. He was interesting. Our first date, he gives me statistics. So he moves from Denver to Arizona, and we had met before he moved. And that was another reason I was like, yeah, when you get here, we'll see. So I was like, I'm not doing this long distance thing. He moves from Denver to Phoenix. I'm here in the Phoenix area. And at dinner, he gives me the statistics. He goes, I think I've dated every eligible woman in Denver. And I'm like, really? And he breaks it down. He's an engineer, and math is his thing. He breaks it down, and he's like, okay, there's X amount of people in Denver. Half of those are married. Okay. Half of those are single. Okay. So half of those single people are LGBTQ. So, I'm not, I'm hetero. So of those half, they're not, either half of them are not in my area. So we're drilling down. So there's like 30 women in my area that are eligible. And Maureen, I've dated about 30 women in the last 2 years. So it was cute how he did it. I just sat there like, that's the coolest thing ever that you just did right there. I was like, so intellectually stimulating people. Go to a book club. They're intellects. They have a deeper desire for life and meaning, right, of life. Hobby clubs. If you like, it's sort of like the meetups, but there's clubs. So on Facebook, I tell my clients all the time, go to Facebook. I have one client that I'm coaching. I think he's 30, and he loves classic cars. And I said, go to a classic car show. You don't know, you'll find a woman there. If you like tattoos, go to a tattoo convention. Like the thing that you love, and you want a mutual connection with someone. This old, opposites attract. That's old school. We need more. Compatibility is underrated. We need more people that are interested in the things that we're interested in, because it gives more conversation. Then we have more things we can do together. Yoga and retreats, healthy things. If you like spirituality, go take a weekend retreat. There's going to be men and women there. It's going to be it's going to be everyone. The gym. I know a lot of people do not like gyms and don't like being hit on in the gym. But there are opportunities at the gym. I personally did not like going to a gym, and I did not like being hit on in a gym. But if you're into fitness, which I was not, I was only there because I hated the fact that I needed to lose weight. I wasn't there to be a weightlifter or a bodybuilder, for gosh sakes. But there are people at gyms, and there's organizations, and there's classes. Take a bike class at the gym. I don't even know what I'm talking about. A bike class, whatever they call it. Spin class. That's how bad.
I was a spin instructor for like 5 years.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay for a membership, so I took spin every day. So I just asked, I was like, how do I get certified to be a spin instructor? And they're like, you just take this little 1-day class for like 5 hours. They teach you all the things, and then we can hire you. I'm like, are you serious? So I just became a certified spin instructor. So I, instead of sitting in the class, I just taught the class, and I got the membership for free, and just was still doing my 1 class a day.
Genius. That is genius financial advice right there. I don't know that I could go that far with it. I think what I would do is I would do like the reverse Zumba. I would do I'd be the worst Zumba instructor, where you can just come and dance like a toddler. I would, that's what I would be good at that. Just be you, like the Lucy and Ethel when they tried doing the dance. Yes. If you've ever seen that one, that would be me. And then the last one is work events. If you have work events, don't shy away from them, because you could meet people again. Don't dip your pen in company ink. I don't always advise dating people at work. That's just my thought process.
But if your company is really big, you could date someone in a totally different.
Yes, that's what exactly. I agree. And I mean, when they have a big Christmas party for everybody, or maybe there's a convention or something like that. So there's always those opportunities. So you don't have to do it online. There are ways. If you don't like the pressure of the online stuff, then you have all these other options. And you could troll Home Depot aisles if you'd like.
Hell yeah. When these individuals, so like you and I are a little bit different. We're not normal as far as being outgoing and talking and blah, blah. Most people are not like us. So to all the other people who are not like us, how is one supposed to go up to a stranger at Home Depot or at an event of Comic-Con or whatever? What do you just hi? Like,
I'm going to tell you this. When you have healed yourself to your most confident self, and don't go out there dating until you are at that most confident self. When you feel your most confident, and I mean to the point where you're doing things by yourself and you're doing this solo journey. I'm working on my TED Talk, which is about being your own best friend. Get to that point where you're your own best friend first. And then when you're at your most confident, I never used to do anything by myself. I was not confident. I had no identity outside of wife and mom. And then when I got divorced, I was like, the kids are going to their dads and I don't know what to do. And I was so uncomfortable. I went and sat at a coffee shop with a book like this, hiding behind it, looking at everybody, thinking, oh my God, they're judging me. Oh my gosh, they must think I'm such a loser. Oh, they probably think like I'm the most unlovable woman on the planet. So I wasn't at my best. I wasn't at my most confident. First, start off doing things by yourself. And then you build that confidence, and then you become a Sabrina and a Maureen, because I got to a point where didn't care what anybody thought. And so when you go out on these dates, or you go out and you see someone you like, you're not going to shy away because you're confident in who you are. The one thing every single guy said to me on every single date, dang, Maureen, you're a breath of fresh air. You are so honest. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Because I threw it out there. No holds barred. And then let's get to, what do we ask on these dates to really dig down to finding out who this person is, so I don't have to go on 5 dates to figure out he's a narcissist or he's selfish. So we're going to get to those questions, but that really is, when you're out and about, if you're confident, throw it out there. What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, they say no, or they're married, or they're whatever. Open the conversation with something that's situational.